Ready? Good evening. This is the Park and Recreation Commission meeting for October 31st, 2024. I'll call the meeting to order, and we do have a quorum. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is approval of minutes from the Park and Rec Commission meeting from August 15th. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Unfinished business. Ryan's got a presentation on the Regner swim pond for 2024 review.
Yes, I do. Hard to believe that the season wrapped up over 2 months ago, but a little bit of a recap for you, basically covering the document that was attached to the agenda packet. Hours of operation. So in 2025, the Regner Beach season operated from Saturday, June 8th through Sunday, August 18th. That spanned 72 days. Of those 72 days, the beach was was open for 64 of them, the 8 closed days being due to low temperatures and or rainy days. For those 64 days, the beach was open for a total of 439.75 hours, which equated to 6.87 hours per day that we were open. The overall number of hours that the beach was open in 2024 was down 24.5 hours from 2023. The average hours per day was essentially the same. You're down to the minutes at that point, but it was 6.7 something. Staffing before the 2024 season began, I thought it would be beneficial to increase the overall number of lifeguards compared to 2023. 2024 staffing levels were as follows: 4 supervisor lifeguards, which was up from 2, 31 lifeguards, which was up from 24, and 10 beach house attendants, which was the same as 2023. I believe in 2025, a slightly lower number of staff members will be hired, ideally closer to 25 lifeguards, but I'll retain a 3rd supervisor lifeguard position. And then there is also a high possibility in 2025 that I'll need roughly 15 beach house attendants, and we can talk about that possibility in a bit. Water quality per state requirement, we once again submitted weekly water samples to the Village of Jackson Water Department to test for E. coli. All samples in 2024 were well within the parameters that are established by the state, meaning that we had safe water for patrons to swim in. In 2024, the E. coli levels were significantly lower than 2023. 2023 levels were still well within the parameters established by the state, but we were approaching zero for E. coli levels. If I had to take a guess, I would say it was likely due to the geese abatement program that occurred prior to the swim season beginning. And then in addition to the water samples that were submitted for testing, Wisconsin Lake and Pond Resources also did their typical treatments on the swimming pond, which includes the addition of enzymes and bacteria to aid in the decomposition of organic matter to help maintain clear and quality water for swimming. Moving on to attendance. This year, a total of 14,659 users swam in Regner Beach and or used the rotary splash pad. This number was up from 13,864 users in 2023, which is about a 6% increase, all while being open for 24 total hours less, so pretty good if you ask me. In addition to this, there were also 3,964 users of the Regner inflatable zone, each of those paying $4 per 2-hour session. Just as a reminder, before the 2024 season began, we aimed to have 2,080 users in the inflatable zone for the preseason budget projections that we put out there. So to almost double that number in year 1 of inflatables with the limited offering was pretty good in my opinion. Revenues and expenses, we definitely took a step forward in offsetting the costs of our lifeguards in 2024. A large part of this was due to the Regner inflatable zone and the roughly $16,000 in revenue that it brought in. Overall revenues were up about $25,000 compared to 2023, and overall expenses were $6,000 higher. But if you look at the kind of itemized statement of that, or I guess side-by-side comparison, not itemized, you can see that concessions was up. The cost of buying and selling food and beverage was more this year, and then we did buy about twice as much in beach supplies. Operating loss in 2024 was just under, the operating loss in 2024 was just under 19,000 less than it was in 2023. So this year, before factoring in the Washington County grant money, we lost $64,155. The Washington Save Summer Swim grant money came in at $43,520. This year we were at the 75% mark, so it was 75% of the increases we experienced from 2021 to 2023. Baseline payment for lifeguard wages and bonuses and beach house attendant wages. Safety and incident reports, aside from the, I need to grab a drink of water, I'm sorry. Any questions right away?
No, it's looking like the inflatable zone paid off.
I have a question about the Washington County Save Summer. I'm new.
Yep.
I assume this is some shared financing with the county, and why has that gone down to 75% and going down to 50%?
So Washington County does it with a handful of municipalities, West Bend being one. It was set up as, the agreement was set up as 100% of that difference in the first year, then 75, then 50, then 25. So our last year with funding from the county will be 2026 at the 25% level. So
any idea why they won't continue to support us? I'm sure a lot of the people at the park are not city residents or county residents.
Wasn't it ARPA money, and doesn't that dry up eventually?
Oh, okay.
It does, but it was, basically, the county was looking at it as an opportunity to help out, to help municipalities with the costs of their lifeguards and the increased costs. We weren't the only one who experienced it. Hartford, same thing, YMCA, all that good stuff. So the county said, hey, we'll help you up front. You know, basically, they were gonna cover that difference. This is where we were, this is where we're gonna be. That gap is what they were helping us with. For them to do that long-term, now they're supporting lifeguard programs all over the county long-term. That was not the goal. Goal was to help us out, give us the opportunity to stay on our feet and allow the municipalities or organizations to maybe change their operations, come up with new ideas, new revenue sources, et cetera. Hartford went through the same scenario. Hartford looked at their concessions, staffing levels, all that, and they were able to refine things that they are now self-sustainable with their outdoor aquatic center and things like that. So it was just a good, friendly gesture. We're very fortunate. We're very fortunate that the county was doing this. And it was, hey, we're going to help you out, and then we're going to just keep, you know.
So it was planned.
Yep, it was planned. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
For us, it was a great opportunity.
They offered it in
Thank you.
2022, but we didn't have the lifeguards
Right.
anyway, so we couldn't
Yep.
open.
It was too late for us at
Thank you.
that point in time.
Yep. So bottom line, in 2024, when you figure in the Washington County money, Regner Beach lost $20,635. So a little bit more than we.
Would you,
Oh.
you know, it was such a beautiful summer, you know, warm all the time. Did you expect better than this, or is this kind of what, I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but did you expect better?
I would have to go back at the projections and I guess and see what we did, but there was certainly days where, you know, it's 80, 85 degrees out and there's 50 people in the pond and you're kind of like, what the heck, where is everybody?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something that was a bit more surprising, just building off of the success that we had in 23. But the inflatables definitely helped draw people, and those were more positive than I could have imagined, just for being what they were, which wasn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, there was certainly days where you were perplexed, or I was perplexed, where it's like, where is everybody?
It's a beautiful summer, I mean, it was like.
I think we probably have to build back too, because a couple years of closure, we have to get people used to coming in.
You're probably right.
And like Ryan said, the inflatables were a huge success. You know, preseason, how do we estimate what our numbers are gonna be. We doubled what our budget, or our budget estimates were pre-season. I mean, and between the inflatables and Ryan's work in the concessions area and all that, an additional $25,000 in revenues it was a great thing to see. But Mike, I agree with you. Nice summer. Sometimes I go down there and it's like a Thursday and it's 83 or 84 degrees and it's like, where's everyone? So hopefully that'll change next year.
The weather could have cooperated better too. There was those days where we couldn't open or we had to close early because of the weather or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess if you look at under the attendance tab on packet page 7, like the days with 300 plus users, it increased by 5. So that's definitely a good thing to see for sure. But overall, yeah, a super good summer, in my opinion. Couple final points, safety and incidents this summer. So aside from the mud run, where kids go missing every 5 minutes from their parents and then are happily reunited, there was only one missing child incident that happened at the beach in '24. The incident was over about 5 seconds after the lifeguards cleared the water when the person exited the water and heard his or her name being announced over the PA system. So I happened to be there when that was going on. Lifeguards handled it exactly how I wanted them to. So if anything a little more serious would have happened, I had full confidence in their abilities to handle that situation. So I'm very proud of my staff and the seriousness that they have towards their positions, whether it's lifeguarding or being a beach house attendant. And then last thing, recommendations. So finances are obviously the biggest key or indicator with Regner. So if there's, and we kind of talked about it, if there's not serious changes that are made, the reserve funds that are built up right now in the recreation enterprise are just going to keep depleting more and more until we do not have any money left. So my biggest recommendation for 2025 is the implementation of the aqua park in Regner Beach, and I'll kind of give you all a little status update on that during my rec supervisor report. But yeah. But yeah, overall, super good season in '24. Very thankful for my staff and hope to build once again on the success in 2025.
Thanks. Yeah, you did a great job training that staff and everything about the concessions and everything. I mean, it was wonderful. You did great.
Thank you.
Is there any other comments or questions for Ryan? Thank you. Next, we have a presentation, the annual report for Lac Lawrann by Courtney.
Hello. So just going to give you kind of a rundown what's been going on the past year. So this was probably from my presentation last year, just to show you kind of a comparison of where we started in the nature playground area, what it looked like, and to where we are currently. We broke ground 6 weeks ago. So it has been buzzing with people out there working, lots of dust flying everywhere and machines driving. So if you're in the area, definitely drive out and see. You can see our overlook deck has been put in, our raised bed walkway right there. We have the log steppers in right now, a slide coming off of the overlook deck. And Scott's Landscaping is busy building the amphitheater. It's even further along than this picture because every single day something is changing. So I would have to update pictures every day to keep this current. And then the picture on the right is an area that the park staff cleared and is going to be the town area. So if you can picture, there's going to be a general store, an A-frame cabin, a bank. So this is going to be buzzing with little kids going in and out of tiny buildings, having a great time. Next, I'm getting into programming. Little Hikers, which is held fall and spring. These little cute guys go out on the trails 1 day a week for 4 weeks. Winter Fun Day, which we're holding again this year. I hold them on 2 different dates when kids don't have school. So they come out, they snowshoe, we go out to the sledding hill and use the sled shed, and we cook s'mores, make hot chocolate. So it's like a 3-hour outdoor fun day when they're off of school, so their parents can have a break. This West Bend Birding was my second season having this. We go to 4 different city park locations Originally, it was just being held at Lac Lawrann, but this is the second time now where we've gone to a different city park location each week so that a lot of people have never birded at Regner before or Ridge Run, so it was a nice way to get local residents out to explore different places to visit in the community. Hopefully we will have better snow than we did last winter because there was only probably 2 snowshoe Fridays, but this is my youngest snowshoer who visited me. We have snowshoes as small as 2 years old all the way up to very large grown-up sizes, but we will still offer this for free on Fridays, and if the weather cooperates on Saturdays or Sundays. This was a presentation that we had last January. This is through the Ozaki Washington Birding Coalition that Lac Lawrann is a partner of. We just became a Bald Eagle Nest Watch sponsor, so this is a woman who runs the Southeast Wisconsin region, and from this presentation we were able to get 16 new volunteers in the Washington County area to monitor bald eagle nests, myself included, so really is another new way to interact with local volunteers, and they take pride in their nests, whether it's on their property or they're assigned a nest. And it's very top secret. You can't talk about where your nest is, so don't ask. Another program that we have offered since 2001, Nature in the Classroom. We go to over 90 classes in the West Bend and surrounding school districts. Myself, I go to 13 classes, so this is a program we've been running for a very long time. We go in from October to April and we teach a different nature topic each month. The kids love when we come to the classroom, and something we look forward to every year. And then those schools that we visit then come and visit us in the spring for field trips. Leading me into field trips, we had over 13 field trips this year. This is just a picture of one of the groups out there. So again, these are West Bend and surrounding schools that we go visit during the school year that then come out to visit us and then put what we taught them about in person. Summer camps, the picture on the left is my junior naturalist camp, the really wild one with his mouth open, that's my son there. And then, so that is a camp being held on site, and every single year I hear it's their favorite camp they go to. They can't wait to sign up. They go home very muddy with bug bites every day, and they love it. The slide on the right shows Junior Naturalist Camp. That's a camp where we do different activities in the community each day. They ride their bikes to each location. So this is Josh Ham teaching the campers about disc golf. That's always one of their fun days. But some of the other activities that we do is kayaking and fishing at Ridge Run, swimming at Regner. We go do archery at the archery range. So it's a very busy, long biking week full of fun activities. Just sharing some pictures. We have 2 luminary walks a year. These are pictures from just our recent one that we had. We had over 2,000 people turn out for the event. We had perfect weather. It was 70 degrees. We got to use our new fire pits that our Eagle Scout made for us. That's going to talk about that in a little bit. And we had a band in the barn. Even Mr. Weston helped out making popcorn. Thank you. Flower sale. This is still our longest ongoing fundraiser. This past Mother's Day weekend, we pulled in our largest gross amount that we ever have at our 36th year. And it takes over 100 volunteers to run this event where we sell over 6,000 plants. And it's a wonderful event. We look forward to it every year. And that brings me to, I'd like to introduce our next person, or do you need to introduce them, Mr. Weston?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
So
Jack
new
Miller,
business.
our Eagle Scout,
Good evening. My name is Jack Miller. I am from Troop 780, and it was my pleasure to complete my Eagle Scout project and give back to the community of West Bend. I met with Courtney at Lac Lawrann Nature Conservancy during midsummer of 2023 to discuss my Eagle project and to see if she had any ideas as to what I could help her with. She showed me several items on her wish list, and I selected 3 that went well together. A dry wood storage shed, 3 stainless steel spin basket portable fire pits, and 3 wood slab tic-tac-toe boards. After our visit, I looked at the websites Courtney wanted me to use to construct the 3 items mentioned. I watched several videos and started taking notes. In January of 2024, I began a 2-month search seeking discarded washing machines that were built with a stainless steel spin basket. I wasn't successful and discovered this would be more difficult than I had thought. In March, I presented my plans to my troop committee, which they approved. I was given the green light to proceed with my search, purchasing supplies, and seeking donations. During spring break, I traveled to a scrap metal yard in Oshkosh and tore apart 3 washing machines and took home the stainless steel spin baskets to be used for the portable fire pits. In April, I was successful finding a lumber company that would donate all wood supplies for the wood storage shed. I also presented my mission to the American Legion and received a $500 donation to help me with to purchase supplies, materials, and travel expenses. Most of May was spent going over directions, simplifying plans, and purchasing all the supplies and materials. I then typed out all the directions and organized all supplies and materials for each project. During the end of May, I started to bring everything out to Lac Lawrann Conservancy. I started to clear away debris and leveled off the land for the wood storage shed. I also made designated areas for the supplies and materials for each project. June 10th of 2024 was construction day. I arrived several hours earlier to set up everything before Troop 780 arrived to help me. When my troop arrived, I had them break off into groups. My directions were clear and everything was organized. I had all the necessary materials and supplies to get busy. Everything ran smoothly without any obstacles, and as a focused group, we completed all 3 projects in 8 hours. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, Jack.
Very nice.
We should probably get a motion to approve the project. Is there a motion to approve this? Then we'll discuss it.
I move to approve.
There's a
Second.
motion, and there's a second. Okay, well, let's discuss it or whatever. Yeah, good job. Fantastic project. It seemed to work really good, too, huh? Is there anything else for Jack?
I just commend you on your perseverance and hard work.
Thank you.
Now, does that stay there, or is that portable, or what? The fire pit?
The fire pit that you see, you can see the Marin Center behind. That is permanent. So that, I mean, I guess if we wanted to maybe move it, but I don't see us ever moving it. Probably weighs 1,000,000 tons, but it's filled with wood, and we already have a fire pit down there.
Yeah.
But the portable fire pits that Jack made, let me go back. These are so cool. So those were the fire pits that you saw in the pictures from the Luminary Walk. It is very difficult. I've looked everywhere in Marketplace. I don't think I'll ever be, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make one of those. Can't find them anywhere. And our checkerboards that Jack made, those are some items that'll go in the nature playground as well, and in the classroom. And so we're gonna kind of have them all spread out for and then you guys painted the stones. There is one of the other direction? Oh, I didn't go far enough. Okay, here's some tic-tac-toe boards. Oh, yep. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah.
Cool.
Very nice.
You got a lot of hours in on that.
Very cool.
Wow. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Jack? Can we cut them loose?
Yep.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks a lot. It's a great addition.
Thank you.
Now we have a resolution to transfer funds from the Project Seek account for Lac Lawrann Conservancy. Courtney, you're doing that?
This evening, we are requesting the transfer of $2,679.64 of Project Seek funds to a capital projects account to cover the site prep expenses for construction of the new nature playground at the Lac Lawrann Conservancy. This use of funds was also unanimously approved by the LLC Friends Board.
Is there a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on the transfer?
This money wasn't earmarked for anything, was it? Okay.
Been sitting there since 2012.
And I think this was kind of the plan to do this anyway. Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Courtney. Now we have a resolution authorizing transfer of Special Olympics Fund for payment expenses, and Carolyn's going to do that.
Yep. We've done this before. Hopefully it looks familiar. We are transferring funds to pay for Special Olympics expenses. Mary Fiegel does a great job with the athletes, takes them to tournaments. This pays for travel expenses and tournament registration fees. She's done a lot of stuff this year, so this should cover us for about 6 months or so. Okay.
That's what that money's for, I always say. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Carolyn. And then you are going to cover the facility rental fees for 2025.
Yeah, so this item is proposing updated rental fees. I have given everyone some sheets here, the yellow and the purple, if you wanted to look and see what all of our rental fees as for various park facilities. They're rented out all the time, all summer. They're very popular. Catalyst to these changes was the planned updates to the White Family Cabin at Ridge Run. In addition to a complete remodel indoors, they're adding a new deck, gas fireplace, serving kitchen with running water, so prompted an increase in the fees. We did a comparative study. We looked at rates of similar facilities, looked across our board. I even looked at some other communities as well, just to make sure that our rates are in line. And it all has to do with the amenities. Every single one of these facilities has a different little combination of amenities. What renters really want is proximity to playgrounds, courts, parking, ease of access, ADA accessibility, of course, and a desirable location for their guests, especially if they're having big graduation party or something. There is a high demand for rentals with indoor facilities. People, the weather is very unpredictable, so they really just want those four walls and windows and a door to keep out the weather and bugs and that sort of thing. Indoor restrooms also very, very highly sought after, kitchen, decent sized seating capacity. And so for these reasons, an increase for the cabin indoor room. We're adding the fridge, water, kitchen, deck, fireplace. It's going to be a great rental. I'm so excited to inform residents of the changes there. And we're going to be asking for $150 with your approval tonight. The cabin's a little bit smaller than the Camp Lodge, but it's closer to a playground. It's a little bit of a walk to restrooms. Camp Lodge has restrooms inside. Again, all these facilities have a little bit different combination of amenities. $150 would be the resident rate. The non-resident rate would be $225 as 50% more for all of our non-residents. So doing this comparison opened our eyes to all the other amenities that all of our other facilities have, and we're just kind of looking comparatively across the board. Of course, the beach house has been super popular because it's got everything, right? Proximity, parking, indoor restrooms, air conditioning, and that's exactly what people are looking for. The Regner Pavilion has huge coverage. It's close to everything. The concession stands are there. You can have big family reunion, anniversary, graduation parties, so a nominal increase for that is what we're proposing as well. It's still a great value at the suggested new price. Riverside Pavilion also has it all. It's huge, high demand. I can tell you, throughout the summer months, I could rent that 2 or 3 times over in those summer months. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's booked. So, so close to everything there, parking, courts, volleyball courts, the disc golf course, everything, indoor kitchen, restrooms, that sort of thing. So.
I'll move to approve the fees as submitted.
Okay.
There's a motion and a second. The weddings, that's going pretty good for next year too?
Yes, 13 weddings we have at Lac Lawrann so far.
Great.
And just this week, I booked 2 for 2026.
Wow, wonderful. Any other questions? Oh, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Program fees for winter, spring 2024, 2025. Ryan and Courtney are going to tag team it?
Sure are. I will start with the first 2 sections and let Courtney finish with the LLC stuff. First box, I guess, in-house programs. Archery, no change. Gymnastics, 2 age levels, junior and tiny tot, no change. Little hitters, baseball, spring training, changing that to adapt the fee structure that we've been doing with the rest of our programs year-round, $4 resident, $6 non-resident per class. Regner Park ice skating, no charge. Soccer, same fee structure, $4 and $6 per class. Swimming lessons, no change. Youth track and field, no change. And women's health and fitness, no change there. Second group is contracted programs. Ballroom dance, we are increasing that $5 per participant per the request of Mike Maddock. Judo, both youth and adult, we are not changing anything there. Learn and play program, no change there. Just noted that we, out of the $105 fee, the Parks and Rec Department keeps 80 and the West Bend School District gets 25. The 4 music lessons that we offer with the West Bend Music Academy, guitar, piano, learn to play drums, and beginner ukulele, no change there. And Red Cross babysitter training courses, no change there. Court?
Yep. Our upcoming Winter Wonders Luminary Walk in January is free. Our 2 Winter Fun Day classes, no change to that fee. The Nature in the Classroom program I talked about that runs October to April is free, where we go into the schools. Birding in West Bend, no change to that. Snowshoeing Fridays and Saturdays, free. Little Hikers, spring and fall classes, no changes to that. Bald Eagle Nest Watch program, free. School field trips, no change to that fee. Our wildflower plant sale, no charge. And this coming spring, I'm starting a new class through Rec that's an urban landscaping class. It'll be 4 weeks long. I'm still trying to come up with a creative name. But it's go from a yard that's just a yard to a thriving ecosystem. This new class will walk through any problem areas you're facing, brainstorm solutions, review invasive species while recommending the best management practices. Together, you will drive into maintenance concerns, discuss ways to boost native habitat, and select appropriate native plants for your property to create a diverse habitat attractive to humans and beneficial for the animals.
And is that's for adults, right? I could call
Yes.
you, okay.
Oh, definitely. Homeowners.
Maybe I'm not an adult, but
No, it's geared
I'm
towards,
looking for a little help, so,
good.
yeah.
Come to my class. Yes, it's geared towards homeowners in the local area where maybe right now you just have a ton of green grass, or you have part of your property where it's collecting water, or you,
Buckthorn?
yes, can't seem to get rid of that buckthorn, or you want to attract more birds to your yard, or pollinators. So the class is going to be open to 10 people, and I don't expect that all 10 people coming are going to have the same concern or wants, or want to spend 10 hours a week in their yard. It might just be one minor change you want to do, but it's going to be geared towards kind of individualized plans for each person that comes, and there'll be a guest speaker each week that will come and, like I have lots of master gardeners that I work with that are very knowledgeable about native plants and pollinators and invasive species control, and so yeah.
Idea when it's gonna start, or can we sign up, or you said to be determined?
It's going to be spring, so starting in April.
I know.
I know I need to pick, that, West Bend birding, little hikers. I have to pick my day and time, but
Maybe you can
yes,
pencil him in.
pencil you in. Yes, okay, everyone come.
Thanks, Courtney and Ryan. Is
Thank
there
you.
a motion to approve the program fees?
Make the motion to approve the fees.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion for either of them? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thanks again. We're at donations.
All right, I have the first two. The first one is for Gears Inc., Craig Walker and the guys, for a $2,000 donation from the proceeds of our beer garden on May 31st. In addition to this, Craig and Gears were also out there bartending and helping out. So thank you to Gears for the monetary donation and the assistance with the beer garden. The second one is the Friends of Parks and Recreation in West Bend for $1,280. That's for the sponsorship of our Flag Football League t-shirts. So that amount of t-shirts should hopefully last us another 2 to 3 seasons.
I have a donation here from the West Bend Disc Golf Club, Josh Hamm and the fellas and ladies, for $540 for general disc golf course improvements. Thank you, Josh. I'll just do all three, yeah. Second one I have is from the Ice Age Trail Alliance. It's a grand total of $72,490. $33,600 of that is for a 50-foot bridge. That's that value, and 200-foot boardwalk had a value of $38,890. That's the new trailhead, which is off of Highway 33, called the Marth Trailhead on West Washington. Very special thank you to the Ice Age Trail Alliance for that. Third one I have is from the West Bend Athletic Association and Lonnie Alexander. It's a new scoreboard for Field 3 at Quas Creek. Total for that one is $7,025.50 to be installed by park staff this spring, which will update all 3 scoreboards.
Thank you to the Early Risers Kiwanis of West Bend. They've made their 5th installment of the total $50,000 gift to the library basement renovation. And also to various citizens who have dropped a couple bucks into the bollard at the archery range. There's a total of $58 has been collected there. Thank you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Is there a motion to accept these donations?
Move to accept.
Move to accept. Is there a second? Motion and a second. And all those in favor, any discussion?
Aye.
All those in favor, I signify by saying aye. Sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Oh, that's great. And reports, Chairman, like Courtney said, I was at the Luminary Walk. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful night. There was a lot of people there. That was great. I was glad to see that. And then we also saw a nice report that Mike had for the Common Council. I'm sure you're going to talk about that, where the, for the Regner splash, or the Aqua Park. And, yeah, that was great, and it was nice to hear the Common Council. It sounded, they had some real positive comments about it, so that was great. That's all I have.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge that, the presentation that was done very professionally, and, I think what you're doing to to make the park self-sustainable is just fantastic. And I really like the work that you guys have done there, Ryan and everyone.
Thank you. We have a discussion or view of the quarterly trust report. Should be in front of you.
I would just highlight two columns. One would be the park fees acquisition. Sometimes we refer to those as impact fees. That account is now at $657,000, which is a tremendous, I mean, that's great, that's fantastic. We are looking at utilizing some of those funds for the Aqua Park and Regner Park. Most recently, we allocated $75,000 towards the nature playground out at Lac Lawrann. Future projects, Vine Street Trail connection, All Abilities Playground, Park Site O, Rouse Park possibly developing outside the dog park area, future sections of the Riverwalk, et cetera. But I can tell you, we have several more residential developments that are pending out there that this amount, we could see some increases. But with those pending potential residential developments, we're also probably in the need for some additional neighborhood parks in those areas. So this is a great dollar amount, but it can go pretty quick, and we just need to be looking forward. And we'll talk more early next year again with the commission. We kind of go through projects every January, February, the impact fees, things like that. But no, we're in great shape there.
Number's been bigger than ever, though, so that's
Yeah.
a good thing. So-
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
You got invested, I got you.
Yep. And we also have to use these funds within 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's all governed by state statute, things like that. So basically, the 7 years is they don't want developers giving municipalities money and the municipalities just sit on it. It's there for a reason, you know, it's a quality of life thing, and they just want to make sure municipalities are using it, which is good, that's smart. So, and then the other one I just wanted to mention was a dog park. I believe we are at $58,000 there. Annually, we spend right around $13,000 on operational costs out there, doggy waste bags, gas, oil, this, that, everything else. I can tell you, Dan and staff are in the process of basically renovating all of the solar lights out there. They've aged, the components in them have aged, et cetera. And we're looking at another $8,000 to $10,000 withdrawal from that 58,000 just to pay for that. And it's just a maintenance fee, and that's good. I mean, we don't have to go to the common council, the taxpayers, to say, hey, we need money here. So that's why those fees have been established. But next month, we might be coming before the commission for an increase in those annual fees. They've been at $25 since the conception of the dog park, and we're gonna need some additional funding for in the future. We met with them a while back. We kind of got a long laundry list of future improvements, plus things like solar lights. You might see that on your agenda for next month. Right now, we're sitting good, but it's gonna get cut down a little bit with some just maintenance costs really on the solar lights, so, thank you.
How old is that dog park now, Mike?
As I was talking, it's about 10 years. It's somewhere right in there, Alan. And I started looking at all the numbers yesterday, today again, as far as our annual fee, or annual costs. And it's, you know, kind of, well, like anything, things cost more today than what they did 10 years ago. But I want to kind of put a timeline together for the commission. This is where we were 10 years ago. This is what has happened. This is what we've done. And there's been a lot of great things out there. The solar lights, the asphalt walkways, shelters, trees, et cetera, et cetera. And we've met with the group out there, and we've agreed on future ideas and what we'd like to do and what we'd like to see. It's just going to take additional funding to keep moving forward. So they're super happy out there. We're fortunate to have that group. I'm still trying to work with them also on an idea of a possible fundraiser, maybe an annual event that could help increase some, maybe shine a light on the property again. Hey, we're out here, come on out, and, you know, generate some enthusiasm, some potential revenues, maybe a doggy swim day in the pond after the pond's closed at the end of the year, something like that, something completely different that we've never done before. I don't know. I don't know, so.
All right, thanks. Any questions for Mike on that? Courtney, do you have anything else?
Nope, it was all in my report, but if there's any questions, happy to answer them.
Any questions for her? Thanks.
Thank you.
Ryan, you have something, I'm sure.
I've actually got nothing. Really quickly, fall sports. So since we last met as a commission, fall sports have come and gone. All of those went very successfully. Swimming lessons, our flag football league, baseball, soccer, and gymnastics. In addition to that, registration for our fall through spring dance program started. Happy to report that we have over 200 dancers that registered this year, so another very successful program that we put on. And we also added a weeknight option for the gymnastics classes that we offer on Wednesday evenings. Both of those were met with high registration numbers as well. So happy with how things are going on the rec side. Aqua Park, excuse me. So since the last time that we met, Mike and I have been working pretty hard on this. We've put together some firm numbers as far as purchasing the AquaGlide materials and put together expected costs of doing the renovation to the beach area and the pond area of Regner Beach. We've also finalized a design with AquaGlide that fits within the footprint of Regner. Obviously just the excavation needs to happen for the proper depths and grading to accommodate the AquaGlide inflatables. As Mike Weston alluded to, Mike presented to Common Council on October 21st, and we were awarded permission to go out to bid. So we turned around and got all of the things in order pretty quickly, and we have the following timeline. Pre-bid meeting on November 7th at the Beach House. Bid opening is November 12th, and then permission to award the contract at Common Council on December 2nd. So hopefully in December, if we meet as a commission, we will have some positive news for you. And at that time, or if we defer the December meeting until January, definitely hope to give some updated project costs and projections on the 2025 season at Regner. But as of now, things are looking good. We have a couple of potential sponsors that would like to back the project if we're able to proceed with them. So things are looking good at making this idea that we had a year and a half ago now become a reality in 2025.
Yep, it's going to be exciting. Good job with everything. Any questions for him? Dan, you have anything for us?
A couple things. As everybody's kind of touched on earlier, we've been kind of hitting it hard out at Nature Playground when we can. We've been trying to hopscotch with Scott. We have to wait once in a while, work around each other, but that seems to be progressing fairly nicely. Within the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've gone through interview process, brought in 2 candidates for second interviews, one for the arborist horticulturalist job, which was main duties is to take care of the Riverwalk area, and then also I brought in another guy for our arborist position. Today, I made a call to the one guy, and he will be getting back to me on Monday, hopefully with an answer to come work here. Mike and I discussed it, and we're going to repost the arborist position. Didn't seem to get enough, I don't want to say quality, but we didn't get enough candidates. So that one will stay open. So in the meantime, I will be wearing a second hat, going back and doing some forestry when I can. Obviously, I got to stay on job duties I do have, but we have to keep up on our service requests for our clients. So that's been kind of a challenging thing for the last couple months now. This week, I believe actually today, finalized winterizing all the parks buildings for the year. So that's all set. Started bringing over the winter equipment. Don't want to use the S word tonight because it's a little early. We're not up in Hurley with the 3 to 5 inches they're supposed to be getting. So, but we gotta stay ahead of that as well. Trying to chase the leaves through the wind, trying to mulch them up, trying to work around enchantment, cutting down grasses in the beds, just trying to get prepped for winter. And I'm working personally on employee evaluations and for the Tree City USA application, which is due at the end of the year. So That's what we got going.
Busy year-round.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been seeing the crew down at Regner cleaning up and spiffing it all up for enchantment, which starts the day after Thanksgiving. So, yeah, they're doing a good job. Any questions for Dan? The only one left is Mike.
I just had one item, I put it at everyone's place setting this evening, 2025 capital budget. I'm not gonna go through each one of these items. We kinda went through them in August during the tour and our park, commission meeting at that point in time. But this is the approved budget, so these are the,
Well, you're gonna get these.
this is what's happening for us, yep. So it was good to get the workshop roof in there, and some of these other items. Camp Lodge will be big. I mean, Carolyn mentioned it this evening, how popular our facilities are, to our customers and things like that. So this is already passed through Common Council. We won't have funding for a lot of this until April, early May of next year for some of these items, but that's fine. At least we're moving forward with them. That gives us some time too to get contracts prepped and all that stuff. So I can tell you, the Wingate Playground has already been ordered though. That with our grant program we have with our playground distributor, we had the same thing with Villa Park and Bicentennial. We got to order the material early this calendar year to qualify for their grant program, things like that. But I think we can handle that when we're getting about a $55,000 to $60,000 deduct on our equipment. We can order it early, So yeah, this is good news. Plus, I mean, this isn't obviously all our projects. So you look at the cabin and the nature playground and everything else that we have going on. This is just added on top of that, which is good. So, thank you.
Good, thanks. Any questions for Mike?
Yeah, with the Aqua Glide, we're doing pond dredging this over the winter, so I assume there would be no ice skating.
Right, it's gonna be dependent on our contractor. We get permission to award on December 2nd. Literally December 3rd, I wanna be on the phone with our contractor to find out when they want to be in Regner working. We would not allow any work to occur during enchantment in the park. We don't wanna interrupt that, we don't wanna do that. But anytime after that, if they can get in there and site conditions are conducive, we would cancel the ice skating for the season and get this pond work done.
Is there an opportunity to flood the field behind or something like that where we can move?
We haven't
move
talked about it
operations?
much, because no matter what, we're gonna fill the pond in November, planning on having ice skating, and we like to have it filled up anyways with enchantment and all that. So if we have a whole bunch of snow and this and that, the contractor might not wanna work anyway. So, right now, we're gonna fill it, we're gonna plan on having ice skating, using the beach house as a warming house and all that. But it's just gonna depend on Mother Nature. If we have frost in the ground early, I hope we get the contractor in early, just all the truckloads in and out. They're gonna go out full, they're gonna come back in full, because part of the dredging is also adding 3,200 yards of sand, beach sand. So, yeah. And we got a 5-gallon bucket in Ryan's office already. One bucket at a time, so.
right, thank
So,
you.
yeah, but we need the contractor 100% done by May 1st. Because then we gotta get in there and how many anchor points, how many mooring points we have, I don't even know. It's like 100 or whatever. So our staff's gonna have to make anchors and things like that, survey that all out, lay it all out, pump the water out. So we need to get the contractor out of there too at a certain time so we can get it all done. Like always, we got plenty of time, but yeah, we just need to get them in and out. So if we have to not have a free ice skating season to do it, to accommodate it, I'm just looking at the priority of the aqua park and the potential revenue sources and all that. So, I think ice skating, the beach house, warming house and all that, I think it's important to Regner. I think it's part of the history, and I think it's a nice feature we want to offer our community. But if we can't do it for a winter because of growth and our pending success, I think that's,
There's no guarantee that it's gonna be cold enough to make ice anyway.
yeah.
One day last year.
Last year, we didn't even get to know.
All right.
Do we have 2 days?
Last 2 years we have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
Good questions. Thanks. Any other questions or comments for good of the order? If not, there being no further business, I will adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.